I think that I just clicked in my head. By the way, the Cyberpunk thing that you just said.
Okay.
Which, God damn it, you screwed it up,
Joe.
Joe.
Santa Claus has many things on his way for
list.
you, and I'm not saying that that's one of them. I'm just saying I was told that
okay,
you may want to curb your spending.
Oh, okay.
On the holiday. All right, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Game Wild. We are in the late 40s, I think, right? We're at 48.
48, yes.
Episode 48, which means, guys, we are only 4. That's right. 4 episodes away from epic episode 52.
Wow.
Which is a full year of episodes, pretty much, because we've been doing weekly episodes. I don't think we've really. I think maybe we missed one week.
I think, yeah.
But but we'll take it as episode 52 being the year mark, obviously, because we've done 52, even though we may be over by a week. But there we go, guys. We are 4 episodes away for 52, which would lead us to, if I can count correctly, let's see, episode 49, episode 50. Episode 51. Episode 52 would be on January 4th, 2021. That's when that one will come, based on my counting.
I was like, wait. I thought you were counting to like tell everybody what's after 48, and I'm like, I think everybody knows the numbers after 49, 50. I'm like, all right, I get what he's doing now. It's just
yes, all right. So that's right. So, but listen, guys, episode number 50 is going to be on the week of Christmas, and we are working diligently on trying to do something fun and something a little bit entertaining that will require your votes. Okay, we won't tell you what it is yet because we are working on it and we can't lock it down. We haven't locked it down yet, but we're hoping on December 21st we have something fun for you guys. Keep on our Facebook page, keep on our Twitter and anybody else, Ruffhouse Plays, Shit Just Works, our Facebook pages, our Twitter pages. Join the Game Wild page. Like, subscribe to all of our channels, because we will continue to bring you updates on what's happening throughout those weeks, so you'll know what you'll be voting for between SJW and myself. And then on top of it, we are also going to be starting, hopefully next week, our gamer food edition of whether or not
it got delayed a week. Yeah,
it got delayed a week, unfortunately, because the company is a small company out of the Midwest that got slammed on the Cyber weekend, so they were unable to get us the item in time. But we will have something for next week, whether it's that item or something else, as I've procured some backup stuff, but that also won't be in until next week. So hopefully on our next week's episode, we can start the gamer food segment, in which we will try out different things that we feel gamers may ingest, whether it's unique snack foods, drinks, smashed towards official. Gamers, stuff like that. Yes. So, we will tell you that we are working on an energy drink that has no sugar in it, that is supposed to be big for gamers. That is what we're going to try to do first. And then from there, it could be chips, candy bars, more energy drinks that are geared towards gamers, soda that's geared towards gamers, all that type of stuff. I don't know why I'm saying gamers.
I was just gonna say that's the Boston accent, like, in you, gamers. Park the gamers car in the garage.
We'll park the car at the gamers garage, stuff like that. So there you go. I struggled through that opening today. I don't know why, but I did.
So I'm excited. I'm excited for us to actually get not just the food, but the other thing that you had mentioned too in a couple weeks. So and not just because we're gonna eat the food, because obviously I'm excited to eat more food. I'm a food guy. I love me some food, but to also show everybody on the cast as well. Hey, this is good. This is crappy. You should eat this. You shouldn't eat this. Or this gives you energy. Or this doesn't give you energy. And I'm excited because a lot of the stuff we've already talked about, we haven't ever seen before or eaten before or heard of before, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and all of it's going to be obtainable for the majority of our listenership. Some of our listeners that may be out of the country,
we'll give you that info.
I'll be getting it, but we'll figure it out for you. And then obviously interact with us on our Facebook page. the group Game Wild, please do that, because we will have things like polls, and we will have basically asking you guys, have you tried something that is a gamer food that's unique, or something you've eaten while you've been playing games that you think we should try that makes sense. So those will also be happening, but we'll need your input. You need to give us the input on our Facebook page, so go find us there. Thank you. Now, the question of the week, it seems like one that was like, hey, I really don't know what to ask, so I'm just going to put up something like, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Well, no, it does have a theme, because if you remember,
that was last week. We did talk about the anniversary of Pokemon. So what is it, 25? Was it 25?
Yes, 25, yeah.
There you go. So, all right. So, I'm a cop-out guy with Pokemon because I don't play it very often. I don't know the extreme range of Pokemon, so my favorite will and probably always be Pikachu, which we see in the background in SJW's camera there, smiling as usual. So call it a cop out, but hey, he's the one that I like the most.
That's kind of a cop. That's such a common. Come on, man.
It is super common.
Jesus. I mean, I guess you can't. I can't hate on it though, because Pikachu is Pikachu. He's like the face of Pokemon. So,
hold on.
All right. With that said, I mean, I actually, there's a lot of Pokemon that I like, even some of the newer ones. I don't know if you know, like Rayquaza and Lucario and stuff like that, and some of those other. I know there's like a million Pokemon now, but I say at first I thought Gyarados. I don't know if you remember, but Magikarp.
I know Gyarados. I know those. Yeah.
So that
he's
was my
the reason
first
why
thought.
you get it.
Well, yeah.
Have you ever seen that meme where somebody on Twitter posted and it's like, way to walk around with an egg for X amount of time just to get a Magikarp?
Yeah.
and then I guess like a Pokemon Twitter account of Magikarp said, imagine your mother holding you holding you in her belly for 9 months and getting you. Like, so
feels bad, man.
Hashtag feels bad, man. Actually, but I'll tell you who I actually really enjoyed playing in the Pokemon Sword game. So I'll give him as my runner-up. That's not very known, but have you ever Score Bunny?
Oh yeah. That's the fire one from Sword, right?
Yeah, I love Score Bunny. Score Bunny's awesome, and his evolution is pretty awesome too. So he looks like a ninja.
Yeah, I think that was the one that I picked too. When I played, I played until like I got to level 20 or something with the Pokemon, and I kind of fell off it.
Yeah, I fell off of it too. But I got to tell you, and he's actually in the newer shows that are on Netflix as well. The Pokemon shows, he's in it.
But Gyarados is not my final response.
Okay,
Gyarados was my first thought, because I like the fact that he evolves from something so stupid like Magikarp. That literally just has Splash until like level 25 or whatever when you level him up.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with, which I also have a mascot here, which is not in screen. Snorlax.
Oh, that makes...
See, now that makes a lot more sense, right?
You lazy bastard.
Snorlax, man. I will never forget Pokemon Gold and Silver, one of the first Pokemons, having to go through down the, I don't know, whatever path or route it was, and you had to get the Snorlax out of your way by doing some, special stuff in the game. That was the first time you really got to see Snorlax in action, and he's another, I think, face of the game, like Pikachu, Charizard, and I think Snorlax is up there as well. So So I figured we answer that after the 25 year thing, but
could have been Bulbasaur or Squirtle.
But Squirtle's another popular one too. I think it's Charmander, then Squirtle, and then unfortunately Bulbasaur usually gets the shit end of the stick there. I don't think he's out of the top 4 Pokemon that are always mentioned in the original Pokemon. I think he's always number 4, unfortunately.
Poor Bulbasaur.
So, we got some news, though, and we went to this event last year, and that is PAX East. And
it's packing up.
It's happening. So, man, it's been an interesting 2020, but this is going to be a thing, I guess, where they're doing, according to the article, they're doing, what was it, East?
In June.
Yeah, but there was a couple others, right?
So East is going to be taking place June 3rd to June 6th, 2021.
East-West.
West will be taking place in September 3rd to 6th, 2021. Australia will have more info coming in. They're unplugged, which I assume will be some sort of maybe digital will be December 10th to the 12th, 2021. So they're pushing it out basically till when they believe a vaccine will be readily available for people.
South is RIP.
South is not on.
It's not happening.
Yeah, South is not happening. It's not in there.
Not until 2022.
But it will bring. They will bring it back in 2022.
Are we going to this again, Joe?
I don't think. I think we have to, right? I think the people.
Yeah.
I think we have to, and maybe we do more. Maybe we don't do just one day. Maybe we try to do all 3 days, or see where it goes. I think that is definitely something we should be.
I want to, dude. It's funny because when we went to PAX, we were all like, "Yeah, we're gonna go to a lot of events now. Like, this was really fun." And then that
COVID
went down the drain.
Right.
So I do.
But I think
this is one of the first ones I do want to get back involved.
Yeah. So I think we should probably try to do all 3 days, and depending on how things work out, we'll see. But yeah, I think, and it comes at a good time. June's not going to be bad.
And I think most people think everything will be kind of quote unquote back to normal by April, May, and I'm pulling for that too. So
yeah, so that's gonna be from Thursday, June 3rd to Sunday, June 6th. So we'll work it out. Maybe we'll do the 4th through the 6th or something, but we'll figure it out based on cost and all that fun stuff. So,
but now this news. All right, I am super excited for this news. So I don't know. Do you know Oscar Isaac? Do you know who that is?
Yes.
Okay, so you are familiar with the actor. Do you know? Can you think of one thing he was in?
Yes, Star Wars.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he's the new Star Wars that guy. So
and he'll also be in Dune.
So do you know what I'm thinking of as the first show or movie that I ever saw him in?
Oscar Isaac? No, I don't.
Do you remember? Have you ever watched Numbers?
A really, really long time ago.
Do you remember what it's about?
Isn't it about some smart person who knows how to figure things out based off of the criminals?
Yeah, exactly.
Criminal stuff.
Yeah, bingo. So it's funny. I actually started liking him as an actor because of that show, and he was the smart genius that would help his detective brother solve crimes with numbers. And so Oscar Isaac, awesome actor, is apparently being cast as Solid Snake in a Metal Gear Solid movie, which, listen, if you look at this guy, my first thought is no, because I know him from Numbers. He was younger. But if you look at him now, he's aged a little bit. He's got the gray and the beard and stuff. Literally spitting image of what you would want Solid Snake to be represented by. He's got the hair. He's got the beard. Just literally spot on. And I guess they had a little bit of a video clip, too.
Back in March of 2019, he said that he would play Solid Snake while being
like interviewed for something.
Interviewed for a movie called Triple Frontier or something.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was in there with Ben Affleck, which actually Triple Frontier, I think I saw that. That was actually a really good cast. Ben
it was
Affleck,
a Netflix show, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a Netflix show?
What's that guy's name from Sons of Anarchy again?
I don't know.
Oh my god, the main character from did you ever see Sons of Anarchy? That was an amazing show.
Yeah, it was. I was never big into it as much as other people were, but yeah, no, that was a good cast. It looks like I'm just looking at the row of people there. You even have the Mandalorian himself as well in that.
Yep. And so this is
Pedro Pascal.
Uncharted started getting filmed as well, so I think this is a good. Like they even say in the article that it's a good omen for Metal Gear Solid. So if we have Metal Gear Solid and Uncharted and movies like that coming out, I think this blows video games out of up. I think oh my god, it's gonna be great.
If you just want to move away from video games for a second, even though there will be some video games in this, the movie landscape is really going to be unique for 2021. Another thing I want to mention, HBO Max is releasing all of the Warner Brothers movies for the first month of release on HBO Max, which includes Mortal Kombat. One of the movies in there is going to be Mortal Kombat.
There's a new Mortal Kombat coming out?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Holy shit. Okay, that's awesome.
A brand new Mortal Kombat. And then you're going to also have a Murderer's Row of DC movies. Suicide Squad's going to be there. I don't know if there. I think there might be one other one, but they're starting with Wonder Woman on Christmas Day, and they're going to do that. Matrix 4 is also going to be on the list, so you'll be
a throwback. Keanu's not in that, right?
Yes, he is.
Oh, he's in that. Oh, wait, who was it that they weren't cast? Is it the guy as Morpheus?
I think it's Lawrence Fishburne, yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But man, Keanu going to kill it this year with Cyberpunk, too. Woo!
Yeah, and I got to tell you, prefacing Ruffhouse deals a little bit early, it's still actually on sale at all places for $49.97. And I actually pre-ordered it because it was so cheap. A disc version, because the digital version was $60. And I wanted to save some money. So for $49,
you talking about the Matrix?
No, I'm talking about Cyberpunk.
Oh, Cyberpunk. Okay.
I got it, and I've realized that okay, I'll live with the fact that I'm gonna have a disc and save, $10 or $11.
I think I actually might get it because I can't get a PS5 and an Xbox right now. And this also, I mean, later on when we go through the game releases, obviously Cyberpunk is finally on that list. I can't get a PS5 or an Xbox right now, and I'm probably just going to end up getting it for PC because of that, which I'm not mad about because I do have an Xbox controller, so I can just use that for PC. But I don't know, it's weird because games like that for me, I want to play on console generally.
Yeah, I mean, would you still play it on console if you were to get the game on console?
If it gets ported, does Xbox with the Game Pass, does it allow me to play it on Xbox because I have it on PC? Is that how that works or no?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think that works like that.
Listen. I'm just gonna preface you. I would hold off a little bit on Cyberpunk if I were you.
Whoa! All right, listen. You know how long I've been waiting for this? Them are fighting words, Joe. I don't know if I could do that. I'm just saying. It's been so damn.
I understand that, man. but
I mean, I
don't know.
Part of me wants to.
I heard from a source that you're not supposed to be buying anything right now. A source told me that you could be in a lot of trouble if you start buying stuff for yourself right now.
What?
That's all I'm going to say.
What the hell kind of conspiracy theory is this?
I'm just saying.
Okay. Is the government about to implode or something? Like I don't.
No, I'm just saying that you may be sleeping in the doghouse with Stella if you start buying yourself stuff. Is all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Jesus.
That's as cryptic as I'm gonna be about it. You interpret that the way you want to interpret it.
Oh man. All right. Well, anyways, we do also have a Legends of Runeterra seasonal tournament coming upon us. That is actually happening today.
Okay, well, that's not going to happen today, like Monday.
Sorry. So you guys are hearing this Monday, so it's happened yesterday. So I always do that.
So you know what we need to do? We need to start getting the schedules a week in advance if possible, so you can let people know that, hey, on Sunday, December 12th, we will be having a Legends of Runeterra tournament, which I will be hosting as co-commentary.
I'm not hosting this.
But what I'm saying, I was not saying that actually is happening. What I was trying to say is that's how you get viewers, because now they're going to be like, I missed it. Now I got to go back and watch it. And I think that's more of a live thing than it is let's go back and rewatch what happened. So I think we need to do better with our What a Legend of Runeterra segment and start getting a little bit more focus there. That's all.
I think that it just clicked in my head, by the way, the Cyberpunk thing that you just said.
Okay.
Which, God damn it, you screwed it up, Joe.
Santa Claus has many things on his way for
list.
you, and I'm not saying that that's one of them. I'm just saying I was told that you may want to curb your spending.
Oh, okay.
On the holiday.
Gee, thanks. All right. Well, anyways, by the time you guys hear this, yesterday, there was the first seasonal tournament ever that is held for Legend of Runeterra for Riot Games, and it is a $20,000 total prize pool tournament. I am kind of mad. I was just talking to Joe about this because I cast so much and do a lot of other things. The top 700 ranked players qualify for this tournament. I was in like the top 1,000, so I just barely missed out on this, which is unfortunate. But first place, $10,000. Second, $3,500. Third and fourth, $800. And you get paid out if you get top 32. You have to basically go 5-0 in the Swiss rounds to get there. And this is huge for the game. The game has seen a lot of traction in the last couple of weeks because of EU Masters that had happened as well. So, and a lot of people from Magic the Gathering are starting to come over to Legends of Runeterra, touting it being one of the best card games basically ever created. So,
there you go.
It's good things right now for the game. So if you guys want, check it out. There'll probably be the VODs and stuff online if you guys are interested. And I'm pulling. I'm hoping some of the people that I routinely cast are in the top 32 here. Probably going to get a lot of names that we're not familiar with. But so anyways, just wanted to throw that out there real quick. So those are kind of just some announcements. So now getting into some of the more topical categories here, starting with Switch Online in general, Joe. So you have a Switch Online membership, right?
Yes.
So let me start before we really dig into this article here. What have you utilized? Obviously, Switch Online, I think most of the reason people got it was Animal Crossing, so that it can be online. But it obviously connects you to the internet. You can play with your friends. I get that. That's actually, honestly, when I first got it, that was what I was thinking. I was thinking it was just like getting online with PlayStation or Xbox where you're just connecting to the internet. But they actually provide you with other things. So my question to you, Joe, is have you used that that Nintendo Online membership to do anything else? Is there any games that you've played? What games have you utilized?
Just the retro games. Like I played Super Punch Out on the SNES.
Cool.
Because that was like one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
So I literally blew through Super Punch Out.
So all right. So now
I was like, wow, I remember that. That was fun.
And that was free, right? That was free.
Yeah, it's with the subscription. So you basically launch a Nintendo Super Nintendo emulator that they have, and within that emulator they have specific games that you can pick. And Super Punch Out happens to be one of them because it's a Nintendo based game. And and I smoked Nick and Rick Bruiser, which are the two final bosses in that game. Because it all came back to me on how you fight them, because it's all patterns.
Well, that was free.
The whole entire game is patterns. But yeah, it's free because you can come to it. I'm waiting for a possibility of them doing Earthbound again. Because I know you can buy it. I know you can buy it, but I'd like to not have to pay for Earthbound because that was a fun RPG.
So my idiot self didn't even realize that I was having access to an NES and SNES library of games. So when I found that out, I was ecstatic. So I instantly started playing like Super Mario 2, like all these throwback games. And so the wave of nostalgia hit me like a sack of bricks there. So that was pretty fun. But now the reason I bring this up, and those are all free. Those come with the Nintendo Online membership, which I think is $49.99 if I remember correctly. So the original Fire Emblem is now being released on Switch. And unfortunately, it is not being released in that library of games. So I say unfortunately because obviously, it's not free, which you want it to be free. Now, granted, it looks like the game is, I don't know, what, $6, $5.99. So it's a no frills port. It's $5.99, and it's one of the best games, right? It's Fire Emblem is a series that's gone on for ages now and is one of the leading. It's leading the charge for Nintendo alongside things like Super Mario, Donkey Kong, et cetera, et cetera. So what the article brings up, it says, hey, it's a great game. It's great if you want to relive it. For those of you who don't know, like if you've played Three Houses, have you ever played Fire Emblem Ruffhouse? No.
It's
basically like. Have you played Final Fantasy Tactics?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's similar.
I know that the game. Yeah.
Yeah. So similar to Final Fantasy Tactics. For anybody listening who might have played 2019's Fire Emblem Three Houses, it's the most recent iteration of it. Awesome game, amazing. All the recent Fire Emblems are pretty freaking good. This one is the original, so it's obviously a 2D version. It's really not much of a storyline as far as that's concerned. It's just straightforward. Do the battles, kill the bosses, take the castles, right? So what this article is going over is the fact that we're charging $5.99 for Fire Emblem, but not for some of those other games like Punch-Out, like you just mentioned, like Super Mario, like I've played. And it's kind of confusing people, like, what is Nintendo's strategy with offering their library of games? Because we've talked about this with PlayStation. We've talked about this with Xbox. Xbox has Game Pass. PlayStation has had, PS Now and all this other stuff that they're trying to do. So
and they have the PS Plus collection.
But it seems at least a little bit more straightforward. They might have changed their strategy, but then when they change it, it's an all-in, like, this is the strategy, this is what we're doing. Nintendo seems to be on the fence of, like, we have some of our retro games on call for, like, anybody who wants to play them for free. And then every so often we're going to be like, hey, you guys don't have access to Fire Emblem? Let's toss it at them, but we're going to charge them $6. So I guess my question to you, Ruffhouse, do you like this? Do you hate this? Do you think it doesn't matter? Do you think, like, what's your thought?
It's disappointing. That's really what it comes down to. I'm going to tell you right now, super disappointing. However, I understand that we are in a business to make money, and they are going to try to push some of their AAA titles from back in the day as, if you want to relive that nostalgia, you're going to spend a couple bucks, and it's not absorbent amount of money. Like you said, what was it, $5.99, $7, something like that.
Super cheap, yeah.
It's disappointing, but I understand it, and I don't think it's going to be the thing that cripples Nintendo by any stretch.
And actually, one of the excerpts I want to read too. So actually, before I read that, I do want to agree to an extent. I think Nintendo is in a situation with its retro games, especially, where I don't think it actually matters whether they charge or not. People are still going to want to play them. They're still going to buy them. I think they're actually doing the community a solid by even giving out things like Mario and stuff for free with the online. It's technically not free because you're paying the subscription fee, but they don't have to even do that. They could still charge 99 cents for all those titles if they wanted, and everybody would very easily pay 99 cents.
Oh, 100%. They would do like that. It would be like mobile game syndrome, right? Remember back when mobile games weren't free?
Yeah, they were all 99, so everybody would just download them all.
Yeah, because it'd be like, $1, why not? And
they would totally. That would be probably not a change that I would be surprised that Nintendo makes if they made it, and everybody would still buy it. And I don't even think they would hate Nintendo for it, because people love Nintendo and they like the Nintendo games.
Like I said, and you have to also take to the point that I think if you really look at it, some places do that. Like I think PlayStation and Xbox do that too. Like not all the games in Game Pass and PlayStation are every game they've ever created, and you still pay for some of the games that are outside of their titles. So I'm not shocked.
And I think so. I'm going to read this excerpt too, right? Which I think is interesting considering what we talked about a couple weeks ago with Microsoft and Game Pass and Bethesda. In the past, Nintendo has even added unreleased games, which I didn't know this either. Most notably, Star Fox 2, a canceled SNES game that first debuted as part of the SNES Classic Mini Console, as well as Mario Picross, which didn't originally launch in North America. So that's cool that they're releasing unreleased games. These kinds of surprise releases are important to drum up excitement for any streaming service. It's why Netflix spends so much on original series. Makes sense. And Microsoft dropped $7.5 billion on Bethesda to beef up Xbox Game Pass. So I think what Nintendo is doing is they're doubling down on their IP, their IPs, I should say, the multiple. They're taking everything that they own and they're doubling down on it and going, all right, we already own all this amazing content. We don't need to do like Microsoft and drop $7.5 billion on Bethesda because we can't make anything original, because we can make original stuff that everybody loves. So, and I say that kind of poking at Microsoft a little bit, but that's, when it comes down to it, that's the case, right? It's, that this studio has more IP, more better IP than we have, so we're going to buy the studio. And actually, Microsoft has some pretty good IP with like Halo. They just, they keep delaying it, unfortunately. So, but I think it just goes to further show you how society in general is moving towards the subscription-based services, how content is king still. It's been like that for 10 to 15 years. If you make good content, you make good games, you need to double down on those games, and you need to really show people, all right, you're subscribing to us because we have the better games and the better content.
Right, exactly. So that makes sense.
All right, so next up on the docket here, what did we have?
Time to travel. Oh, time to travel.
All right. Speaking of Nintendo, dude, I have heard about this for a little while now,
and it's also on our Facebook page. I posted it.
Yes.
As well.
Holy Jesus! There is a Super Nintendo World, like
from
happening.
Universal Studios Japan.
Now, this is not a game. We're not talking about a game here. We're talking about a theme park. Man, am I excited for this. Universal Studios Japan, which it doesn't surprise me it's in Japan first. That makes total sense. I guess my first question is, how long do you think it took them to decide between Super Nintendo World and Super Mario World? Like, do you think that was actually
while it was still being developed? So probably a couple of years.
Because I feel like that's big for the brand too. Like, do you think more people are going to recognize your park with Super Mario World, or do you think Nintendo is actually a more recognizable name?
I think they're synonymous. I think
yeah, it's
synonymous,
close.
so I don't think it matters.
It's close.
I think realistically, the biggest situation is that they wanted to market Nintendo because there probably is going to be more than just Mario. Mario seems to be obviously the centerpiece, and it really kind of looks like a Mario world. But what calling it Super Nintendo World gives you is the flexibility to add other Nintendo IP to the theme park without it feeling out of place.
Yeah,
I agree. Like if you've ever been to Florida and you've gone to Universal Islands of Adventure, the idea is that they have X amount of different islands, and each island has its own theme. So there's a Marvel superhero theme, a Jurassic Park theme, stuff like that. So that gives Nintendo the flexibility of saying, okay, if we want to do something with, let's say, like a company that does only their IP, for example, like a Fire Emblem, who's only been out, to my knowledge, on Nintendo, they could do a Fire Emblem world.
Yep.
And it not feel out of place or a Zelda world. Actually, Zelda's perfect. So if they wanted to add a Zelda piece to this, Zelda would be not out of place because it's not Super Mario World, even though Link is in Mario Kart. It's still,
I think
that ability to do that.
The theme park itself probably has the capabilities of growing like exponentially. Like it can.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you can make add-on stuff. Mario's a centerpiece, but you could have separate things like Link and Zelda, Metroid, all different types of Nintendo IPs.
Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, I think for that reason, they probably, like, there's Six Flags. They've done well. They've also had lots of problems. I know theme parks aren't easy to operate. They're not easy from a financial standpoint either.
Right.
And I think if somebody's going to do it well, it's Nintendo. Like, this is what a theme park is. A theme park is based around, wait for it, a theme. And Six Flags is generally, the superhero theme. Is how they and Bugs Bunny and all that kind of stuff, Looney Tunes.
Yeah. Basically Warner Brothers IPs.
Warner Brothers, yeah. And Nintendo, I think, has an advantage where it's all owned by them. It is all done by Nintendo. They can create new content. They can do what they want. There's this whole process Six Flags has to go through with working with Warner Brothers and stuff like that, and yada, yada, yada. So I think Nintendo has a really big advantage here of really building what it is they think and want for the community when it comes to video games and Nintendo. And just to give you guys an idea, so we were actually really high on, and I still want to get this, the augmented reality Mario Kart thing for your house now, where you can set up a course and you drive the car on your Switch, and that seems awesome.
It is.
And they have taken that same experience, and when we first talked about that, Joe, I even told you, I was like, this is the first legitimate use, I think, of augmented reality outside of maybe Pokemon Go. But Pokemon Go, as much as it used it well, it didn't really fully utilize augmented reality as far as I'm concerned.
This is amazing. Yeah. I have the Mario Kart, and it is.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't think you had it. So is it as awesome as you think?
Oh, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
the hardest part is really like just building the tracks and then
yeah.
Then actually being able to stay within the track bounds, because you feel like you keep hitting things, and then if you have animals, they like to get into the mix, so that's like your extra obstacle. And you don't even have to set up obstacles because the game makes augmented obstacles for you.
Okay, that's pretty cool. All right.
So like when you're building the track, there are sections in the track that you build where they'll put stuff.
And it'll spin out your car if you hit it.
Right, or stop your car.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yep. Okay. So, just to give you guys an idea then, with the Super Mario World, which they have, they have some videos online and stuff about what it would look like. The biggest thing that they've started to kind of detail is this roller coaster type Mario Kart, where you're in Bowser's castle, and honestly, like, just looking at the inside and like how it's designed and stuff, it's so nostalgic. It literally looks like Bowser's like castle in the game. And you're on a track. You put on a Mario type cap, like his hat, with augmented reality goggles, right? Or it's a screen basically that sits in front of your eyes, so you're going to see the augmented reality stuff. and it's so cool. Like, it's supposed to be different every time. You're supposed to have power-ups and stuff that you can throw. There's like, everything, all the obstacles and stuff are gonna change every time you go on the track, and it just seems so absolutely cool. Like, even if it's not super thrilly, like a huge like Superman roller coaster from Six Flags where you're like going 80 miles an hour down a hill or whatever, even if it's a little bit slower and it's more of a relaxed ride, it still would just be so cool to literally be like in Mario Kart.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see what kind of things, because obviously it being a ride, it looks like you're in a cart with more than one person, so it's not individuals. So it'll be interesting to see how that works, because you have that situation. You're not like actually driving against 6 other people. You know what I mean? I think that's would be the super evolution of it, is if you put on headgear and 6 people raced at once or 8 people raced at once on a track, and you actually had, but I just think that might be too dangerous. In some respects, you know what I mean?
I agree to an extent, yeah. So I think I don't know. I mean,
but I think there's a way, because you could technically use the wheel for aiming.
Oh, that's right. They did say there was a wheel. Yeah, there is a wheel. Yeah. So I don't know how the wheel actually works with that.
Though. But let's just say I've never been to Japan, but this would be like my first kind of like
I want to go. I've always
in a post, maybe in a post COVID world, we can set something up and maybe we'll do a trip.
Is it bad? The first word I wanted to say was post-apocalyptic.
I kind of did too.
It kind of feels like that. Yeah, it sounds bad, but all right. Well, anyways, you found this, Joe. So what's up?
I did find this. So listen, games have evolved. Okay, in one of the biggest things that people might have not noticed about some games is that they've kind of taken away the easy, normal, hard moniker, and they've just used different verbiage. And this is basically an article that says the uneasiness of easy modes prompts creative approaches from game developers. And the basic premise is that companies are trying to change how people perceive how difficult their games could be, because a lot of companies now are trying to push out more and more challenging games, but they don't want to alienate people who are like, look at the game and be like, whoa, that's too hard. So we've heard of Demon Souls, we've heard of Dark Souls, and those games are always going to be ridiculous. But in this article, they state to somebody to the effect of, which is actually one of the top games of the year, apparently. Creative director Greg Casavan knew a traditional easy mode wouldn't fit for his game Hades. The roguelike needed to be difficult, but also accessible. So they didn't want to prevent players to get invested in the story from being able to complete the game by adding an easy mode per se. So they came up with a creative solution. They built a mode that lowers the difficulty over time if the players are struggling. So you still need to put in the work to be better, but eventually the game gives you a little bit of boost here and there to get you through some of the more difficult places. So you're still kind of on par with people who are playing at a normal difficulty, but it gives you the opportunity to get by those harder areas by giving you a little bit of boost. But it's not the first game to do that. If you know of Darkest Dungeon, they released a Radiant mode about a year after launch, which streamlines the progression and levels of your roster of your heroes so you can level them more quickly, making the difficulty of the game a little bit more kinder, but still keeps you at that level of difficulty. So you're getting a little bit of a boost, but you still have to be smart in the way you play the game. So basically, it just shows off the fact that people who are developing games are making different approaches to how they set their difficulties. So they're not just making it easy, normal, hard, but they're giving you the same experience across the board. They just add or take away from things to make it a little bit easier or difficult without making it completely dumbed down in an easy mode or even completely hard in a hard mode. That kind of thing.
Well, first, before I get into this topic a little bit too, I think I just want to point something out. It's a creative director, Greg Casavan from Supergiant Games.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah.
There's literally Supergiant Games, and then there's a company Supermassive Games. Like, wow, talk about originality, man. Come on. Then we're gonna have a super big games. Like, which one's better? Supermassive.
Super happy big games.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Supermassive, if you don't know, has made games such as Man of Medan and Until Dawn. Which Until Dawn, actually, my girlfriend Steph played and really liked that. It's one of those, like, you walk through a movie and you make decisions and stuff. But anyways, yeah. So I like that you found this article. I think it's really interesting because I feel like we have grown up with video games always having that easy option, right? And I guess we never really thought of it because we've been around games for so long. But I guess now, other generations or younger generations might be thinking, easy, this game, I don't want this game to be easy. Like, I'm not going to, it's a perception thing too, right?
Exactly, yep.
And if you look at things like Diablo,
yep.
Diablo literally has like 7,556 different, like difficulty levels. So for anybody who hasn't played Diablo, you very incrementally step up the difficulty. And really all they're doing is there's some in the programming, they just up like everything's health a little bit, everything's attack a little bit, because that's all based on just like attributes. All they do is just take all the enemies and they up their attributes a little bit on every single level. So it's a lot easier to control from a design perspective.
In the Diablo world, there isn't. It's it goes from normal is that they don't have an easy mode.
Yeah.
It's normal, hard, expert, master, and then you have what they call the torment levels. And the torment level goes anywhere from 1 to, it looks like, 17 at the moment.
Oh, and actually, now that you mention it, something like Slay the Spire is the same way, right? Or Monster Train.
I don't know.
It's so Slay the Spire, it's like in Monster Train, you have the base difficulty level.
Oh, Monster Train, yeah, you have they call it. Oh my god, why can't I think of it? Because I'm like at level 19. I'm like right on the cusp of 20.
Oh Jesus, why can't I think of it either? Because Slay the Spire had it too. Hold on. We got this. Slay the Spire difficulty levels is... So Slay the Spire is called... Oh, that's not it. Oh, Ascension. Ascension level in Slay the Spire.
Yeah, that's right. The Ascension levels. And, oh my gosh.
Monster Train. We got this.
Yeah.
Monster Train is called... Oh, man. I don't know. Just difficulty? No, there's no way it's just called...
No, it's not.
There's 26 in Monster Train. I thought there was 20. I guess not. All right, well, while you look for that, anyways, they're also like that. And the way that I actually like how they and Diablo have done it. And that makes sense, right? So you're talking about the word easy. All three of those games avoid easy. Monster Train, Slay the Spire, and Diablo. They don't actually have an easy setting. They just have, here's the base game, and then if you want to challenge yourself further, here's a way to do that. And I do like that. I like that better than having an easy mode. So I think we are really past the time where easy is even a thing. I think the most you're going to see at certain points is something like, here's a training mode, or here's a beginner like tutorial. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a very specific part of a game, which you might put in for people who just aren't as experienced, right? Like Diablo is not, I think, like, I don't think a non-like gamer person is going to pick up Diablo. Like, if you are playing Diablo, it's because you're a gamer.
Covenant rank.
Covenant, that's what it was.
Yeah, Covenant rank, which I'm currently 20, and based off my last thing, you are ranked 4.
Yeah, well, wow, thanks for pointing that out. Thanks, Ruffhouse. Thanks, Ruffhouse. Jesus.
Always here to help. Always here to help.
So, yeah, I think easy is a thing of the past. I don't think it's going to be a thing anymore. I think that, as we get more games like Dark Souls and Demon Souls and stuff like that, it's just easy. We as a society have evolved. Okay,
no more easy button.
Yeah, no more easy. We are not dumb. We can do these games on the max difficulty now, and it's just, and even games like I played Runeterra and stuff like that, Hearthstone. They don't even have, it's a card game. It's literally just ranked. It's just, and I think that's where everything is going to go, where we're just playing against each other. So the difficulty mode is, are you doing better than your opponent? Or are you doing better than your friends on your friends list is the difficulty mode. It's not,
much,
it's not the game anymore. It's not even the AI. So, so cool. Yeah. So that means.
It is.
I know we're going to save this other thing.
Yeah, we'll save the other one. Well, it goes to Ruffhouse Deals. And this week I'm not giving out free games because there are some really good deals for the holidays that you guys need to check out. And the first one is the PlayStation Plus membership is now 53% off on cdkeys.com. So that is amazing. That's under $30 for a year of a $60. I would highly recommend it. I've done it. It works. CD Keys is legit. And I believe you can go up to 3 years. So if you want to stack it, you should be able to stack it. If not, hold the key for the next year. But that's it. 53% off. I don't think you'll get anywhere better. And then I found this, and it was specifically for Walmart, although I've done some cross-checking, and this does look like it's happening on Amazon and some other places, but up to 50% off on all different types of games, including it looks like $10 off Cyberpunk 2077.
Yep.
So Cyberpunk's $49.97 or something like that. I pre-ordered it on the Xbox One because I wanted to save the $10. But I probably won't get it until December 12th, it looks like, because of how late I pre-ordered it. But yeah, so check it out. We'll have links in the description, but there's your Ruffhouse deals. Time to save some money this holiday season.
All right, one thing I want to point out here on these deals. So a couple things. Actually, Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD, if I know it's a big title, that's actually $25. It's been $50, so that's pretty big right there.
Yeah.
But if you notice on this list, and this is, I think, indicative of what's happening in the world right now with COVID, there are 3 games on this list that stick out to me, and that is FIFA 21, Madden 21, and NHL 21. 21. That's this year's game. That's this year's game. I have never, in all my years of playing video games since I was a kid, seen in the same year of release for a sports title in any category, NBA, all of it, half off anywhere as a deal. Not from a full price game, not for a sports game. That's insane. You might get 10, maybe 20, and that's probably just if your name is NHL because nobody watches hockey anymore. So
Ouch.
Yeah, I know. Well, I speak the truth. I love hockey, but it's really unfortunate. So what you do notice is not there is NBA 2K as 50% off. I think it actually is. Oh, wait, no. NBA is. All right. So that's the whole suite then. And that makes sense. I was going to say maybe basketball. It seems to be one of the more popular sports games competitively too. So, but I don't know. I just wanted to point that out because it seems like that is indicative of what's happening in the world right now. So,
right.
But with that said, we got the game releases this week, and holy Jesus, I'm just going to get this out of the way first because I am finally so happy that we're going to have this. Cyberpunk 2077 for PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Stadia. And Stadia is coming out on December 10th, and it can now be pre-ordered if you guys want. Like Joe said, it is $10 off. Joe, did you ever think this day would actually come?
It was going to come eventually.
It wasn't, though? Because that's what we thought the first 4 times.
No.
Oh, man. I am getting this somehow, I guess. But I cannot freaking wait for this game. It is the game everybody's been waiting for quite some time now, and I think it will be well worth the wait from some of the demos that we've seen. So, good stuff.
Let us hope.
Good stuff. So, Call of Duty Warzone Season 7 coming out on the 8th. That's going to be tomorrow for you guys listening on Monday. PC, PS4, Xbox One. Y'all know what Call of Duty Warzone is. Call of the Sea. PC, Xbox Series X, and Xbox One on December 8th. So, Call of the Sea is an otherworldly tale, is how they put it, of mystery and love set in the 1930s. This is one of those just different. We're just going to go with, I still haven't researched the graphics types. We're going to go with different. It's different graphics. It's 1930 South Pacific is where they say you're actually exploring. And you solve puzzles. It's more of a puzzle game than anything, adventure puzzle game. And you play as a female antagonist as well, too. Or, sorry, protagonist, I should say. So that's interesting, coming out on the 8th. We also have Planet... I almost skipped the 2 really important ones. Destiny 2. PS5 and Xbox Series X on December 8th. Basically just getting re-released on the new consoles. We'll see how well that does in sales. Doom Eternal also being released on the Switch for December 8th. Holy wow, that's a while behind everything else. I didn't realize I was that far behind. Planet Zoo. So I've never actually played Planet Zoo. I've heard a lot about it. From what I have heard, it's basically just roller coaster tycoon for a zoo, essentially.
Okay.
It's a management simulation of a zoo. You get animals, you build a zoo. I guess this is not the whole game, but just an aquatic pack DLC is coming out for PC on the 8th. We also got Puyo Puyo Tetris. It's 2 puzzle games put into one called Puyo Puyo Tetris. I'm sure you guys have heard of both. So yeah, this is actually going to be coming out for Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on December 8th. Notably, not on PS5. That's kind of weird that it's like just missing that one, but do it. Right, the Eye of Atlantis for PlayStation VR coming out on the 8th. Yeah, this is basically, it's an Atlantis-based VR game, which looks pretty sick from a graphics standpoint. You set sail to Atlantis, you explore, you play basically an Atlantean who broke out of prison, and you have these, supernatural powers as Atlanteans do, I guess. And you solve puzzles and stuff. And you use, you see your hands in front of you, and you use them in the VR to actually solve the puzzles and stuff. So, pretty cool concept there. Then we got Shakes on a Plane for PC. Shakes, not snakes. PC and Switch on the 8th. This is, I guess, just like, it's one of those games where you're doing the restaurant thing, and you have to time everything right. It's for Shakes though. This is so literally just made for the sake of being able to call a game Shakes on a Plane, I think. So, but that is gonna come out on, like I said, December 8th. Sword of Gargantua, another PSVR title, coming out on the 8th as well. This is more of a battle fighting game. You're a swordsman essentially. It's a sword fighting game in VR. This is something that I feel like you need a very wide open space. So just a disclaimer, you probably don't want to be around anything that you could break. So, because you are going to be basically swinging a sword, and that's just asking for disaster. So, lots of VR stuff coming out apparently. Temtem. Have you heard of Temtem, Joe?
No, I have not.
This is all the rage, I guess. It's I'm really surprised actually there's not some lawsuit or something from Nintendo. They've probably looked at it, but Temtem is essentially Pokemon rebranded. It's the same. If you look at it, it even looks like Pokemon. Yeah, it's pretty bad, and I think some of them, the names even play on some of the Pokemon. So right now it's $37.49 on pre-order for PS5. I mean, I've heard good things about it. People aren't just hating on it because of that, but it just really seems like a clear rip-off of Pokemon. So I'm curious to see how the future of that game holds up. Minecraft Dungeons, Howling Peaks DLC, PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on the 9th. Woodsalt for PC and Switch on the 9th. It's an adventure game set on Runeterra. I feel like that's been a planet name in so many games. Runeterra. It's an interactive fiction RPG. So it's one of those where you kind of, it's more decision making than anything, and it does have multiple endings if you're into those types of games. Then you have
the choices matter.
Yeah, exactly. Animal. Well, it's like that game that I told you Steph played Until Dawn. There's a million different ways to end that game apparently. So, Animal Farm for PC coming out on December 10th. It is exactly what you'd think. It's Orwell's Animal Farm. It's oh wait, actually no, sorry, it's not exactly what you think. This is a different one. It's a political animal-based game. Yep, yeah, and it's hand-drawn too, as far as the graphics are concerned. But yeah, you're making political decision as pigs and stuff, which I guess they all have their animal, Republican has their animal representation, kind of like the stock market and all that stuff. So maybe that's the route they're going. I don't know. Brigandine, yeah, I know, right? Brigandine, The Legend of Runeterra on PS4.
Oh, so they were trying to pull off the whole Legends of Runeterra thing.
I don't know. Maybe. I think that's literally the first thing that came to my mind too. But a new era of war is being ushered by 5 nations. It just looks like it's an RPG, to be honest with you. So it's like one of those anime type graphics RPGs. So if you're into that, pick it up. Haven for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, and Xbox One on the 10th. This is a story-rich adventure game. This has the graphics of, man, I always forget that game where you're like that little cape guy going over the hills and stuff, and it's like I always forget. But basically, 2 lovers gave up everything and escaped to a lost planet. You guide through a mysterious landscape, explore a fragmented world, and fight against what's trying to tear them apart. So it's a very like love-based RPG adventure. You do have the very typical like there's 3 things in front of you, turn-based RPG combat. So if you are into that sort of stuff, then this game is for you. Sword of the Necromancer, PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, coming out on the 10th. This is an action co-op adventure, and again, more of like the cartoony anime type graphics for this game as well. And this is like a dungeon crawler adventure game where hack and slash your way to victory. And we have Medal of Honor Above and Beyond. Medal of Honor, we all know that game. This is actually for PC VR though, so a Medal of Honor VR version on December 11th. And finally, Space Invaders is still alive and well. If you were wondering, there's a Space Invaders. What are they calling this one? Forever. Well, I guess that makes sense. It has been around forever, but it's the good old retro Space Invaders. It's just getting re-released with some new graphics and stuff like that. PS4 and Switch on the 11th. But that is gonna do it for the game roundup this week.
Noise. That is amazing.
I just want to eat
stuff.
Way to
go, everybody.
I just want to eat stuff.
That's it.
Can we get to next
week? We're going to be doing that. Hopefully next week. We're going to eat stuff next week. So that's going to do it for another edition of Game Wild. We really appreciate you guys coming aboard. And like I said, look forward to our social medias to try to figure out what we're going to be doing and what you can be voting on. So for now, you guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you later.
Later, everybody.